Well, hello. Welcome back to the Crosswinds Church More Than Sunday podcast. I'm excited you're joining us today because Derek Walker, our creative arts pastor, and I are going to just have a fun conversation about what it is like to be sheltered in place, and specifically Derek's tips. Derek's tips for groceries, how to get good groceries in the middle of this thing, as well as good takeout. So hope you enjoy this.
Whoa! Can you take us back into
right now? We're listening to Derek as he's talking to his daughter.
You're recording me already. Well, can you get us back? And if you eat out here, you guys gotta be quiet, okay? Is that doable? Okay.
This is appropriate, Derek. Hey,
this
everyone.
is already going downhill. This is already going down.
This is appropriate for what we're going to talk about today. I've got Derek Walker here, who's our creative arts pastor, who we're going to talk tips for how to get through the shelter in place.
Hello. And I should probably preface this by saying that about a half hour ago, my wife said, hey, I think I should go to work now instead of Friday morning to go do some stuff, get some stuff done. I was like, yeah, go do it. And she left. And I immediately went, wait, I'm taping a podcast with Chris. I'm single dadding it during a podcast recording, which I'm pretty sure is not a tip. So if anybody hears kids in the background, they are being well taken care of, but it doesn't sound like it.
We're going to just let this roll no matter what happens in your
house. You
house.
guys are going to get such an insight into my house and how that goes. So, and my parenting style.
Part of why I wanted to do this with you is every time I go on Instagram, you've got a new fun thing you're doing with your family and your kids. And I think that's pretty cool to take advantage of this 5 weeks so far and make sure you're actually like doing some good things.
Yeah. You know what, dude? I always get my friends will always accuse me of this, but like whenever we go on vacation or whenever we used to go on vacation, because when you have kids, you stop going on vacation with your friends. It's just the way it goes. But I was always like the cruise director of everything. I was like, guys, I found this great thing we can do here. And there's a tour of this forest or whatever.
That's
and we'll be like, dude, Derek, can we just like not do that? And I'm like, no, come on. We got to do this. Anyway, so this is like it's one gigantic vacation, you know?
You know what? It's a really good way to put it. I'm the same way. When we go out of town, I have it all planned. I figure out exactly what we're going to do, what days, which fun activities, which days we're just going to lie around the pool or the house or wherever we're going. And I think actually a little bit of what this episode could be today is you being kind of our Love Boat cruise director. Julie, You're probably a little young to know the Love Boat.
I'm only 22. You're not
that young. You're not that young. You could be you could be our tour guide to Livermore and the Tri-Valley and what you're doing for certain things. So let me ask you.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Groceries. Where are you finding your groceries right now? Because you've got a creative way to do this.
Well, So I'm going to say two things about that. The first thing I'm going to say is back when this first started, First Street Ale House, probably one of my all-time favorite restaurants, started basically kind of running like a grocery outlet through their kind of website. So you could, and it wasn't just stuff from Ale House. So they did have like stuff like you can get like frozen chicken strips, which like my kids are like nuts over that they serve at Ale House. But also things like flour, sugar, eggs. Like they were basically like taking the prices they got from their hold on a second. Hey, don't let the dog in. There's a reason he's outside. I'm so sorry, man.
It's all right. It's okay.
Oh, I hope we're into this, but we're not. Basically, they were taking like the prices they were getting from their grocery suppliers and passing it on. And so you can go on their website and be like, yes, I need these groceries. And then literally within 20 minutes, you're going to First Street Ale House and like just picking it up off the back of a truck.
Yeah, so you order exactly what you want off of their website and you pick it up the same day.
Yeah, totally. And now it's just not Ale House. I feel like a handful of restaurants do that. I know Sauced over on First Street, they're doing that.
Are they doing it with just like sauced food, or you're talking you can just buy groceries?
No, I mean they're doing like produce. They're doing like
through their supplier.
Yeah, they're doing like meat. And they're also doing it like with sauce stuff too. It's like you can buy like a pack of like ribs, to take home and barbecue. But I have found that like just for even straight grocery supplies, like listen, there's some stuff that we can't avoid, right? We're gonna have to go to Target or Lucky's or God help us, Costco. My wife is telling me that me and her are going to Costco tomorrow, and I'm like,
Costco was not bad, but I would say go at like 2:00, 3:00. That's my suggestion.
Right. Okay. Yeah. But there you go. That's a good tip from Chris, guys. 2:00. But if you can, if you do this through places like Ale House, it's so easy because they have they have such a good complete, not I wouldn't say complete, but like a good like thorough like cross section of stuff that we need to kind of keep our households running. And it's literally like we just drove out to the back of Ale House and they handed it off to us as it was like a drug deal.
All right. So who's doing that? We know Sauced. We know Ale House.
I know Sauced. I know Ale House. There's got to be. Name a big restaurant in your town that you like. Odds are they're either doing this or getting close to doing it. I'm also going to say this: the folks who run Hop Divine, which is on Vasco.
Yeah, they're doing this too. I think
they're doing this, but they're also doing it like with like meat. So like we bought a bunch of frozen meat from them and like good restaurant grade chicken, beef, pork. And if you got a freezer in your garage, which when I was growing up, I was like, wow, a freezer in the garage, that's the dream. But now I'm like, yeah, freezer in the garage. I don't know how we don't have a freezer in the garage. You can get meat from like restaurants and they're doing it to help them out and help their suppliers out, but they're also helping them out a little bit too. The other thing I would say is
support our local businesses. That's great.
The other thing I would say is don't discount the barter system. Are you aware of how the barter system is working right now? Dude, on Instagram.
I'm aware of it from like 1200 AD.
So if you work for the Dutch East India Trading Company and you want saffron and lavender, no.
You just get some furs basically and bring it over?
Yeah, pelts. No, it was really funny. It was when this whole thing first started, remember how like when this whole thing first started, nobody was really ready for this, and we were all like, crap, I don't have pancake mix. Man, I need flour. Yeast was one of the things that you couldn't find, and now like we bought a big old like bag of yeast from from First Street Ale House.
Wait a second, you can buy a bag of yeast? I thought yeast comes in little square packets. Those little.
Well, you don't know anything, man, because you can give them in big old jars, boxes, bags. I don't know. But we were trying to get yeast, and so I put it on my Instagram stories. I'm like, hey, who's got yeast? And I had like 3 different people who were like, oh, yeah, no, we got it. You making bread? I'll hook you with some yeast. And actually, so I was just like, we had cookies we had made. So I was going to people's houses and dropping cookies off at their doorstep and getting yeast back. And then there is a couple I know, and the wife of the couple is a chef here at a restaurant in town. She had like a whole sourdough starter. She's like, oh, I'll give you some starter. And I was like, great, I'll trade you a pie for some starter. And then I was talking to them like, yeah, we've been doing this all the time. We've been trading all the food we have for other things, like a 6-pack of beer for a bag of flour. And so maybe now that the restaurants are doing the grocery thing, maybe it's not as important. But dude, barter system. If you want something, and you can't find it, go on your Instagram story, say, hey, who's got peanut butter? And so it's like, I got peanut butter, hook it up, And it's actually fun because you can run up to their front step and drop it off with a mask on. And you feel like a really, really nice bandit, It's really cool.
Right. I love it. Okay, this is good. How about takeout? What are you doing for takeout here in the Tri-Valley?
Well, man, you said earlier that about supporting local businesses here in town is a good thing, and I would agree, man. There are a handful of restaurants that me and Amy love, that we still want to eat at. And we want to eat their food, and more importantly, we want to make sure that their chefs and their wait staff are taken care of, and all that.
You got the Carl's Jr. Green Burrito over here on Stanley.
What's funny is a couple of times I've been to the drive-through at Starbucks, the drive-through by the church, because we'll go and we film once a week, and I always stop to get Starbucks. And it's so funny because I'm always telling my wife, like, no, I'm just supporting local businesses. I'm supporting local Starbucks. No, But I'm gonna throw out a few for you, just so you know. I love talking about restaurants in Livermore because Livermore has the best restaurants. That's how I full on feel. First off, if you are looking to get like Mexican food and or margaritas, Casa Orozco right now, their deal is incredible because like you're getting like these big old packs of enchiladas or burritos and like margaritas. And it's hilarious because like they put them in like their soup containers. So it kind of looks like chicken stock. So it kind of feels weird.
The margaritas.
Yeah, it's like yellow and it's in a soup. Anyway, but
you can make your own margarita at home. You just
but you know what? I'm going to say this right now. Any margarita I make at home is never going to be as good as Casa Orozco or El Charro. El Charro is also another place that's good.
El Charro's great. Your margarita might be stronger if you make it at home.
Potentially. Well, yeah, but I mean, come on. I don't need that.
All right. I feel bad. I like Casa Orozco, but there are so many great Mexican food restaurants here in town.
Okay.
I feel like if we don't mention them all, we've somehow wronged them. I love El Charro. You've mentioned another great one.
El Charro's good.
I love Anita's over. We've gone together and gotten the Al Pastor.
Got Anita's before. I don't know if Anita's is actually doing that, or I don't know.
They're open though. No.
Okay, if they're doing takeout, then go to Anita's and get El Pastor. Anita's on
takeout. I have not gone yet, but I've seen it.
Speaking of Railroad, Range Life on Railroad, a little bit fancy schmancy, but man, that is some of the best food you can get. I don't even know how to describe it. I just say it's like really good home cooking comfort food.
It's on the other side of the wall from Anita's.
No, it's not. That's downtown Ollie. No, it's the next building over. It's the Livermore Glass companies in between them. So you're new to Livermore. You don't get it. I would also say Sauced, man. Sauced has got great barbecue. Takeout. I love Sauced. You ever takeout? Yeah. And then also the last thing I'll say is we made a joke about supporting Starbucks, yada yada yada, whatever. But shameless plug. One of my good friends owns Story Coffee here in town, and they are open I think from 6 to noon on every day except for Sunday and Monday. And so they're only doing online orders. You can't just roll by and be like, hey, give me a cup of coffee. But like online orders,
you
order online. Order online, but we've actually gotten like big old jars of cold brew coffee just like to last us a week, and that's been fantastic. So, so there's a handful of places that do really, really good takeout right now, and you're also supporting like local businesses.
That's good, man. That's really great, Derek. So we're at the 11-minute 45-second mark, and I had 3 other categories of things I was going to ask you about.
Okay.
And as I'm saying this, I'm watching you build some sort of Lego toy. All of a sudden,
I'm just fixing this. You're good. I'm listening, man.
Well, my thought was going to be we've still got kids to talk about. I'd love to talk about exercise and how that looks in the middle of the shelter in place, and Netflix or what you're watching, what you're binging through the season.
Let's do this.
Let's do another week podcast. We'll come back and we'll do a part 2, and next week we'll get some more from people as to from you. Good. Of things and by the way,
what I'll do is I'll actually have some more kids at the house. So I'll have all my friends bring their kids over and just leave, and then it'll be like a quarantine party, like a chickenpox party, and I'll just try to do a podcast with that happening in the background. Is that cool?
That's great.